Great day, everyone, and welcome to 3CP TV. My name is Yathis Johnson, and I am the founder and president of 3CP Third Culture People. 3CP TV is what we're doing today, and it is a media resource helping individuals become third culture people just like you. This is where you learn to embrace the greater variety of culture identities and skillfully, and I mean skillfully, bridge the gap between our differences. So when you watch 3CP TV, you learn how to connect with anyone at any time from anywhere in the world. And becoming a third culture person, it's not hard. Listen, we have a phenomenal individual with us today. Let me tell you, he is an emerging friend. He's coming to us from France, and his name is Vincent Morvan. I met Vincent probably a month or two ago, and we've been developing this wonderful relationship. I mean, this guy is sharp. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He is a catalyst. He is a co-founder and co-leader of a French organization serving international students and that international student community from more than 100 countries. Listen, that's big, okay? And he's been doing this for 8 years. Now, he has a lot to say about himself, so I think I'm gonna pause right there. He is an educator. He's a professor. He's quite intelligent. And so let me just stop because I'll keep pouring on the accolades. Vincent, would you just say hello, give a quick greeting to our audience?
Hello, everybody. I am so glad. It is an honor for me to be with Yathis Johnson and you all. I'm excited about this interview.
Yeah, and we're excited to have you, Vincent. Becoming a third culture person will not only grow you personally, but it will grow you professionally, allowing you to expand beyond your imagination and your limitations. And so what we say at 3CP, we change the way you view diversity, equity, and inclusion everywhere. So Vincent, I gave a very brief introduction of you. Would you tell our audience more about yourself?
I started a movement in France with international students 8 years ago. It was really amazing to see. Like we invited basically 100 students every week, and our dialogue was based on global ethics. So we had a huge amount of knowledge shared every week with many cultural backgrounds, every religious backgrounds also were among the students. And basically we started in one city, and then it was in another city, and then a third one. So we were really like watching what's happening. And just to give you an example, like it was a student from the Middle East that started the second city almost on his own with one of our facilitator, because he wanted to replicate. He wanted to replicate what he experienced in his first place of study. And then the first dialogue there in the second city in east part of France, we had 40 students from the Middle East right at the first time, and it was really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Vincent, tell us a little bit about your educational background, because you are an educated man. So just brief our audience on that.
Actually, my first background is risk management and business continuity. And then before starting, this movement with students, I actually worked for the Red Cross, and it was like a commitment for me to be really grounded in the field of international migrations.
Mm,
So I was with refugees on the field, and I wanted to switch kind of to complete my educational background. So I did some research actually on dialogue and interfaith dialogue,
hmm.
and also I was invited in a PhD group where we were really into global ethics and social participation. But
Mm,
in the meantime, I just recently got my diploma also on strategy,
mm,
strategy management. So I love to be transdisciplinary, and to grasp, to have
hmm.
multiple approaches on my work and on my writings.
Mm. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So tell us, how have you been called, Vincent, to use your gifts, talents, or skills to solve a problem or heal a pain in our world?
It started very early. I guess I get that from my father.
Uh-huh.
My father is also a peacemaker. Uh,
Mm,
to be to be really honest with you guys, both of my grandfathers were soldiers, and they were
mm,
involved in conflicts. And I think my dad uh, tried to um, step, to step further, to go beyond these relationships of conflicts.
mm,
And one of his best friend is from Algeria, and
mhm.
I saw my father learning, the language, uh, many languages actually, and my father started also an organization um, with Burkina Faso,
Mm,
French-speaking Africa,
yeah.
and I just saw how he was doing partnership, but genuine relationship. So, and then myself, I guess when I went first um, on campus, I studied in UK for a year,
Hmm.
and I met all kinds of people, and then I was into peacemaking,
Yeah.
and then I had the opportunity, to travel and to foster, yeah, many projects.
Yep.
But I guess I got it from my father first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're called to be a peacemaker, and the work that you do, working with students from all over the world, globally, you're bringing them together to have these rich dialogues. Wow, that is powerful. Now you have uh, let's talk about culture, because I think that's important. I want to capitalize on this while I have you. You obviously live in France and you work with so many students, but tell us three things about your culture you would like the audience to know.
Yeah. So I am French. I guess the first thing is that we are raised with a critical thinking,
Mm,
and it is quite huge because that's why sometimes we complain a lot because we are trained to see where the things doesn't work and all that, but
yeah.
uh and it is a culture that is quite also philosophical, or you know uh we are much into theory and analyzing things.
Mm,
But in the meantime, you see, we are quite. laid back because we spend. It is very true that we spend a lot of time eating around the table, and I guess this is part of my job with the students. It was around the table eating,
Yeah.
and it is where we practice hospitality around the table.
Yes.
We welcome, and we have a good discussion, and it's very natural for us.
Wow.
And
Wow.
a third one would be actually in my culture. It is west part of France, so it is a Celtic culture also.
Okay.
Uh, like my father, he speaks Breton, which is a Celtic tongue. Like he is able to understand Welsh people,
Okay.
in the other side of the channel. And in our culture, we are very welcoming, like because many Britons were travelers, sailors. So we have the habit in the summer to foster festivals with all kinds of musicians and artists from everywhere around the globe. So this is also part of my culture.
Wow. 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 That is so powerful, Vincent. Now, Vincent, you also you're a part of 3CP. You joined us, part of our team. What motivated you? Because you are considered our global trainer and educational catalyst. What inspired you to become a part of 3CP?
Last March, I was in India just before the crisis. And actually, I was doing a dialogue with a Sikh community. And, I was the only foreigner there. I was really into the Sikh community, and I learned actually a lot. My friends, they were inviting me in a traditional meal, which is langa. It is free kitchen. Basically, they give free food for everybody, and we are all sitting and sharing the same food. Maybe 400 or even 1,000 people there.
Wow.
And they are much into generosity. And when I spoke with some of them, I had, this calling that, okay, Vincent, like you not only need to be with international students, right, but to bring also this peace building and practice of dialogue with all kinds of people, and even in the corporate sector, but whatever you name it.
Yeah.
And in the same trip, I visited two missionaries, two ladies, Christians,
Yeah.
that are actually visiting Tibetan refugees.
Oh, wow.
In the Himalayas. And I was there, and I saw those two women, and the way they relate to the Tibetans monk, and they pray for them. It inspired me also, and I thought, oh, I need to go further in. And then when I was in touch with you, I really believed in a movement.
Yeah.
In this trip in India, I kind of sense like there is a movement to be part of. And then
Yeah.
so I found you, and I said, okay, I think it it is, guided, and I am there with you guys.
Yeah. Well, listen, let me tell you, we are so excited to have you, Vincent. You come, yes, definitely with critical thinking. You come with energy and vision. And that's what I love about you. Like, I mean, you and I, we've just been every time we get on a Zoom call together, because you're in France, we can't get on a phone call. We're not on a cell phone together, but we're on a Zoom call together, and we have ideas just floating. And yes, we are a movement, and we want to capture the world. We want to be peacemakers within our world, and we want to see our world unified. And so we believe that we have some a framework to help navigate that, to help be a catalyst to that, to help see that actualize. And so I'm so excited to have you as a part of the 3CP team. Now, let me just switch back to culture again, because you are in an interracial marriage. You're in an interracial marriage. Your wife is from Madagascar, and the only thing I really know about Madagascar is the movie. So tell us a little bit about that. We've got how many minutes? We've got a few minutes still, so we got about 8 minutes left. So tell us.
That's great.
Yeah, how did this all come about? How did you meet your wife, number one, and then tell us. You told me a funny story. I'd love to hear that again. Get our audience to hear that.
Yes, indeed. My wife was born in Madagascar, and you see, the funny story is the first time she came to USA for a conference, she arrived, at the border, and there was a policeman checking her passport, and this policeman saw like the country of birth was Madagascar, and he thought it was a joke, So he said, "You were born in the movie? Are you kidding me?" And this policeman, then he left and asked his boss, his chief officer, like, "What's going on? We have a girl like." She were born in the movie, and then he checked on internet. He realized that it is indeed a country.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's my wife. Yeah, she actually she spent the first 6 years in Madagascar, and then she went to France because her father was an international student. And eventually, my father-in-law, he got a pretty serious illness, and he couldn't go back to Madagascar. So actually, he was studying theology. So he became a pastor in France.
Yeah.
Of evangelical churches, and my wife, then after her graduation, she left to UK, and she used to work for an international organization in Oxford. So she's very much into cultural intelligence, also my wife. And so on a daily basis, we experience also the diversity of thinking. And I am challenged also by my dear wife.
So Vincent, you're challenged by your wife. Give us an example of something that you became aware of because of your relationship with your wife and these cross-cultural conversations that you were previously unaware of.
Yes, I tell you guys, you will be also challenged to hear this story, because in the Western world, we are very much into material, into stuff, into things.
Yeah.
My wife is not at all. Like, she grew up just being content and glad and rejoicing about the breath of life,
Wow.
And so when we got married, the topic of money became a very interesting topic, because the way she used to manage money was really on giving. Like, we don't need to buy stuff. We have enough clothes. We have a roof.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep it for others and giving, to charities or whatever.
Wow.
And I was challenged, on everything I thought buying. I was like, well, is it really needed?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the second thing was on decision making. I was raised in France, and we are very individualistic.
Yes.
So whenever I wanted to do something, I decide on my own. But so it has been a challenge, and but indeed, I learned a lot, because my wife was used to ask for advice.
Mm.
Like, is it a topic about education? Let us ask our parents. Let us
Mm.
ask, professionals about
Wow.
education. Is it
Wow.
in the field of health? You should not decide for yourself. You should ask for
Mm.
advice. And it's like
Wow.
a community-based
Mm-hmm.
decision making.
Yeah.
And I thought,
Collectivistic. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. So it is very wise, actually, because thanks to that, my wife helped me taking good decisions, and it was really uh, key and important for my professional career and for our movement with international students.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah, you need to be really humble, and I love this intellectual humility,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know, core value, because when you meet people from everywhere, you need to be open to learn,
Yes.
and you realize that your uh, former worldview is very narrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I tell you also a last funny story for you all guys. When I was in India, uh, in the same room, I was sleeping with a Sikh Khalsa, so very much into Sikhism.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, he was just beside me, uh, wearing during the night uh, a large knife, beside him.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, why do you keep having this knife with you day and night? And he told me, I want to protect you. I am, involved and committed to protect people
Oh.
in needs, and whatever things, And during a night, we heard a lady in the street screaming, and I asked my friend, uh, okay, what's going on? And he actually went, in his pajamas and his knife to protect this girl and to make sure that she's okay and all that.
Wow.
So, and and yeah, a day or so, one day we went to a museum, and
Hold
you
on,
see,
Vincent. Hold on. What happened
yeah.
to the girl, man? You don't.
So she was fine. She
Cliffhanger
was
here.
fine. She was protected. She was fine, thanks
Okay.
to this
Okay. All
guy,
right. All right. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, 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 listen, Vincent, we're definitely running out of time here. Yeah, we're running out of time, but dude, this has been rich. Every conversation I have with you is one of the best. I mean, it just gets better and better, right? So, Vincent, how can people get in touch with you if they want? I mean, you've got so much going on. What are your social media platforms that you're on? Just, I mean, you're definitely, you're on our website, 3CP, but any other ways people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that? Why don't you share that with them now?
Yeah, please use LinkedIn. I've got a profile there. You will find my name, Vincent Morvan, and you will see also the 3CP picture. And please contact me, and I will be glad to be in touch with you guys. I went to USA also a couple of times, so I know your context, and I am really following what's happening right now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And just, pray for our country. We do want to be the United States of America. And thank you, Vincent, for partnering with us in this work of developing third culture people who have a heart for unity. So, yeah. Well, again, thanks everyone for tuning in to 3CP TV, where you learn to connect with anyone at any time from anywhere in the world. Thank you for being with us.